All right, well, a major boost to India's defence capabilities has taken place in Lucknow today. The BrahMoS missile production unit, built at a cost of Rs 300 crores, has been officially inaugurated at the Uttar Pradesh Defence Industrial Corridor. Built over the course of 3.5 years and spread across 80 hectares of land, the facility is touted to produce up to 100 missiles per year. The BrahMoS, one of the fastest supersonic cruise missiles in the world, developed by BrahMoS Aerospace, a joint venture between India and Russia. The missile can be launched from land, sea or air with a range of 290 to 400 kilometers and a top speed of Mach 2.8. It follows a fire and forget mechanism, and at the inauguration event, Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath revealed that the BrahMoS was used by the Indian Armed Forces during Operation Sindoor. That's not all. An even bigger revelation was made by Defence Minister Rajnath Singh. He stated that the reverberation of the Indian Armed Forces was heard even in Rawalpindi. This comes after confirmation of an Indian strike on Pakistan's Noor Khan Air Base in Chaklala. Sources say it was the missile and drone attack on Noor Khan Air Base at Rawalpindi was the one that sent shivers down the Pakistani army, as the base is one of the central transport hubs for Pakistan's military. Pakistan's Noor Khan base is near the headquarters of Pakistan's Strategic Plans Division, which oversees and protects the country's nuclear arsenal. With BrahMoS' first entry in actual combat being successfully demonstrated, the production facility now serves as a game changer as well. Let's listen into what Defence Minister Rajnath Singh had to say.
साथियों, 11 मई को पोखरण से जो आत्मविश्वास प्रारंभ हुआ था, आज लखनऊ में वह और मजबूत हो रहा है। साथियों, अपनी बात समाप्त करने के पहले मैं कहना चाहता हूं, जिन भारत विरोधी और आतंकी संगठनों ने भारत माता के मस्तक पर हमला करके कई परिवारों के सिंदूर मिटाए थे, उन्हें भारतीय सेना ने ऑपरेशन सिंदूर के माध्यम से इंसाफ दिलाने का काम किया है। और इसके लिए आज सारा देश भारतीय सेनाओं का अभिनंदन कर रहा है। ऑपरेशन सिंदूर सिर्फ एक सैन्य कार्रवाई भर नहीं है, बल्कि भारत की राजनीतिक, सामाजिक और सामरिक इच्छा शक्ति का प्रतीक है। यह ऑपरेशन आतंकवाद के खिलाफ भारत की दृढ़ इच्छा शक्ति का और सैन्य शक्ति की क्षमता और संकल्प शक्ति का भी प्रदर्शन है। हमने दिखाया है, भारत आतंकवाद के खिलाफ जब भी कोई कार्रवाई करेगा तो आतंकवादियों और उनके आकाओं के लिए सरहद पार की जमीन भी सुरक्षित नहीं रहेगी। भारतीय सेनाओं ने ऑपरेशन सिंदूर को पाकिस्तान में मौजूद आतंकी ढांचा ढहाने के उद्देश्य से लॉन्च किया था। हमने उनके आम नागरिकों को कभी निशाना नहीं बनाया था, मगर पाकिस्तान ने न केवल भारत के नागरिक इलाकों को निशाना बनाया, बल्कि मंदिर, गुरुद्वारा, गिरजाघर पर भी हमले करने का प्रयास किया। भारतीय सेना ने शौर्य और पराक्रम के साथ साथ हमारे यशस्वी प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी ने स्पष्ट कर दिया है कि यह नया भारत है जो आतंक के खिलाफ सरहद के इस पार और उस पार दोनों तरफ प्रभावी कार्रवाई करेगा। यह हमारे प्रधानमंत्री जी ने स्पष्ट रूप से यह संदेश दे दिया।
All right, joining us to talk more about this and India's capabilities and indigenously trying to be Atmanirbhar and thwart the enemy in the best way possible is Major General Anuj Mathur, Senior Defence Expert, Wing Commander Praful Bakshi, Senior Officer of the Indian Air Force, former Senior Officer of the Indian Air Force, and last but not the least, Group Captain Dr. V.N. Jha, former Indian Force Officer, also joins us on the program. Group Captain Jha, I'll begin with you, sir. Well, we have come to a military ceasefire, but the ceasefire when it comes to India's non-kinetic actions is still continuing. There is no water for Pakistan. There is no airspace for them. Obviously, when it comes to citizens being able to travel back and forth, that's suspended. Trade with Pakistan is suspended. They're not getting any medicines. India is working very hard round the clock to isolate them as best as possible. But right now we are talking about India's dependence on itself. We heard what China said yesterday, sir. China said that no matter what happens, we will support Pakistan. India is trying to attack a sovereign country and we are with China. And considering what happened, Group Captain Jha, what do you think is the urgency with India at this point in time to make sure that we don't produce 100 BrahMoS a year, we produce 1,000, because obviously we want to equip the rest of the world as well with what we can do?
Very good afternoon, Vineet. It's a very good sign that the large-scale production facility for the BrahMoS is going to be started in the UP's defense corridor. And it was a long overdue commitment by the government of India. PM Modi himself had committed to this particular facility. Good that it is now ready. Coming back to your question that how much of missile, look, missiles to be produced or any indigenous equipment, whether it is of a defense nature or otherwise, it is as per the requirement which is done there. Now, today, as on today, Indian Air Force or Government of India, Ministry of Defense knows how capable is BrahMoS. BrahMoS has got two variants. You are aware. One is BrahMoS Mark 1, which is about 280 odd kilometers of range with the conventional as well as the nuclear warhead. Another version of Mark 2 is extended range, that is about 390 to 400 odd kilometers range. So the other two versions of the BrahMoS, and some more development has happened, R&D has happened onto this, because BrahMoS today is qualified for the triads of the launch pads. That means it can be launched from surface, air, or water. For the air version, the weight of the present BrahMoS is slightly high. 2,900 odd kg of weight is high. If it can be reduced, fair enough. And that particular trial has already been done jointly by BrahMoS and the Armed Forces of India. The new version, the capable version, new advanced version, will be having a weight of about 1,200 odd kilometers, 200 odd or 1,300 kgs of it, which is almost about half the weight of the Mark 1. So I compliment the DRDO, especially because they have done all this hard work. And this particular facility, what is going to be set up, we are quite versant with such facility. It is the original material alloys that will be produced here. The entire missile will be produced here. Some components are going to also come from Russia, so that will be integrated to it. And then there's an integrated test facility also that should, from time to time, any further test be carried, especially for qualification. You know, we have always have a qualification testing. It is not the quality, it is the qualification testing for various adverse environmental conditions that the missile withstand those environment. So it is the qualification and testing facility which is also going to be there. It is part and parcel of it, which is towards the better quality of the product. So I compliment Government of India, UP government as well, who have given the free land for the facility to come up. And in the long run, look, BrahMoS is already being exported. And in the longer range, the moment this advanced version of lighter weight comes up, this will be a state-of-the-art technology for any of the aircraft. Right now, one Sukhoi can carry one BrahMoS. In the coming time, there will be 3 BrahMoS which can be carried by Sukhoi aircraft. And there are many aircraft akin to Sukhoi's payload carrying capacity, which will be very interested to take this particular arsenal. So compliments, that is a very good step, and it is going to serve the Indian Armed Forces for a long run. How much missiles will be produced, that depends on the requirement. First, Government of India has to give the requirement, how many squadrons of it is required. Accordingly, it will be produced. Vineet.
All right. Valid points from you, sir. Let me also rope in General Mathur into this conversation. General Mathur, first up, sir, your assessment of the ceasefire that India and Pakistan are supposedly honouring at this point in time. Military action has been stopped, but we saw continued firing from Pakistan at the LOC as well as the international border yesterday. It is being reported that it's all calm on the Western Front at this point in time. But India knows very well that Pakistan cannot be trusted. The only thing that can be trusted at this point in time is your own self-reliance on the defense equipment that you can make.
Vineet, please allow me to add a line each on the other two, my esteemed
Sure,
seniors.
sir.
I just want to tell you one thing, that the Pakistanis are absolutely sure and absolutely, they are the kind. I'm telling you, Vineet, mark my words today, if we are recording, they will be there. In 2 years from now, there'll be some rogue from the Pakistani army or the Air Force or the civil organizations who will come and claim Pulwama or claim Pahalgam and say that we did Pahalgam and Modi could do nothing. One. Second thing I want to, my information may be wrong, that the land and the sea versions of BrahMoS are already firing at 900 kilometers. So we already have a range which is available with the weapon systems that the Army and the Navy has. The ground version and the air version, sea version, we are already at 900 and we are further extending. The requirement, as far as the requirement is concerned, we must know that we are already exporting this. We have given it to Vietnam, we have given it to Philippines, and we are in touch with in fact, the Indonesians are in touch with us. So the demand for BrahMoS was already there. And having seen what the BrahMoS has done, what has brought the ceasefire about is not many other things. It is the 10 strikes of BrahMoS which have taken place on the 10th of May. So that will further increase. And this facility coming up now in the Uttar Pradesh is probably directly reflecting on that. And you will find that we will produce, as you are saying very rightly, I wish your words come true, Vineet, 1,000 missiles a year, whatever. But the fact of the matter remains that BrahMoS missile has proved its worth in a battle, in a trial by fire, very, very important. One. Now, as far as the ceasefire is concerned, see, Vineet, the ceasefire has come about. I don't know how the others will react. To my mind, it is a surrender by the Pakistan Armed Forces, because they tried 2-3 days to do many things, and it did not happen. And the BrahMoS put the final one in their coffins, and because of which they were forced to accept. A Pakistani army accepting a ceasefire is worse than a surrender. You don't know what kind of mentality they have, mindset they have. They are a rogue army, they are a radicalized army, and for them, win, lose, die, it does not matter. For them, what matters is only jihad. That is the kind of army that we are handling. So, to my mind, it is a surrender from them. They've been sorted out. The Indian Air Force has sorted them out nice and proper. Their AD is gone. Their forward air bases are gone. I mean, that's it. We leave it at that. So, knowing what they are, believing that this ceasefire is going to last forever, will be slightly incorrect to my mind. We are ready. If you recollect yesterday's press conference by the 3 armed forces, Nair had said it at least 2 or 3 times during his talk. He just spoke in the beginning and in the end, and he had said 2-3 times that we are not sure of what Pakistan is, and we are ready for anything and everything. So that itself, probably at that time itself, it had given a fair indication that we don't believe them, and we are there to take care of whatever wrong their misadventure they can try. Second thing, the issue is their AD has been exposed. Their ability to switch forces from the Western theater to the Eastern theater have been exposed beyond doubt. Their involvement, direct involvement of their armed forces with the terrorists and terror organizations and their training and taking care of them has been exposed without any kind of any doubt. Third thing, now the role of China, to my mind, the Chinese role was very, very, very important. And I am not too sure whether this breach of ceasefire, which happened for about 3-4 hours after 5 or 5:30 or whatever time is immaterial, has happened before or after the call from the Chinese to the Pakistanis. The issue is what we need to understand, that China was feeling little out of place as it is, and then the tweet by the Pakistani foreign minister, a shock dart, where he loaded the US with praises, ye kar diya, wo kar diya, hame bacha liya, hame, and all those things. So probably that is the time when the Chinese have said, look, stop behaving like this. We are also there and things are different. So maybe this breach of ceasefire is related to a communication from there. Maybe. I'm not too sure. I may be wrong. So that is the thing. So that is how I look at this ceasefire, that it may well be slightly short-lived and unstable ceasefire for the time being, but you never know how the diplomacy has to take place, how the things happen. Now, one thing, Vineet, I want to tell you, that it is ceasefire and not ceasefire agreement. Ceasefire agreement is going to follow. And in that, we will see what conditions we put in front of Pakis and whether they are going to agree to those conditions or not. So everything will now depend on that final ceasefire agreement that comes about. And that ceasefire agreement, I can guarantee you, Vineet, if I know people around well, it will be absolutely on our terms. And if it does not happen that way, then they had it. So that's how I look at the entire thing, Vineet.
Right, and Commander Bakshi, of course, the ceasefire happened after India hit the Noor Khan base. Pakistan's military bases, which were very close to, their nuclear capabilities, is what drove them to panic and perhaps make that call to the Americans that the de-escalation is not possible because India was escalating, very exorbitantly in this particular manner. And India has every right to. India has every wherewithal and means to. It's Atmanirbharta has always been our focus. We have kept the Americans, the Russians, the French, and the entire world community abreast with what our plans are, is because we believe in peace, not because we want their help, unlike Pakistan.
Absolutely right, Vinny. The transparency in our efforts has actually earned us a lot of support from all sides, there's no doubt. And there was never a doubt that once Air Force was committed, the right weapon at the right place had to come. The BrahMoS requirement had to come. They are very lucky that the naval engagement didn't take place. Had the naval engagement had taken place, then you have seen far more destruction. A destruction on land can be repaired. But when you hit a ship with a weapon like BrahMoS, the ship is totally gone. Hangar can be reconstructed, ATC can be reconstructed, radar can be replaced. That is there. So the naval version of BrahMoS will do far more effect. But that is okay. The naval aviation does, the Indian Air Force aviation does. It is the BrahMoS which is doing it. But the question is, I appreciate what General Mathur brought out. This demonstration has boosted our sale all over. You will find number of countries now all doubting Thomas's, now will say, yes, we also want BrahMoS. The Indian government, Indian people have, morale has also gone up, but our DRDO has done wonders. They have actually proven that they are no more a sleeping partner, they are very active in everything. And this also is a news to me that once we make aircraft carrying more missiles in one sortie, that is seen to be believed. But at the moment, for me to see MiG-29K or carrying one BrahMoS is so heavy, carrying that aircraft, if 3 will come, I personally will feel it will be a devastating weapon. That is what the America has told Pakistan, and that is what China is worried. China actually, I'll tell you, China has supplied so many drones. China wanted to, saw the result, and now China is briefing Pakistan as what to do next. China is not sitting quiet. Turkey is there. Turkey is now also quietened down, having seen the performance. Their Baraktiar has also done, but it is not something out of the sky which Baraktiar has, Turkey's weapon system has done for them. I personally feel, Vineet, that we must not lose the objective of this conflict. Yes, we are going, our objective of the conflict is we have to eradicate terrorism and we have to get the POK under us. Overall is that teach Pakistan a lesson. But teaching Pakistan a lesson is all right there. It's rather very vague on the terms when you compare it to when we are saying we are going to take POK. Every bombing is okay, every destruction is okay, but let me tell you, they are all replaceable. Moment you start taking POK, that is not replaceable. That land belongs to you, and it is then that the victory will be ascertained. When the real estate starts getting occupied, then the victory starts rolling in. You can kill all total Air Force station of theirs. You can destroy the total bomb dump and missile center. They'll all come back. Pakistan is getting so much of help, which we don't know. We think that countries have left them in lurch. No, the monetary fund, which is the result which you have seen, nobody will let Pakistan go down. We have to make sure that Pakistan goes down, and that is why we have to first eradicate terrorism from ours. That includes sleeper cell in Jammu and Kashmir. We should not lose the objective of that. That was the first objective. Then POK we have to take. How we do it, how we reorganize the forces, what chain of command and all we now bring into Jammu and Kashmir is different. I will not discuss that. But POK we should not lose sight of. How we use our army and air force now is up to us and the local commanders.
All right. Appreciate everybody who joined us, and obviously this is still an unfolding and a developing situation. It's not been 24 hours to the ceasefire yet. There were violations reported in a number of parts in the Western Front, the international border, as well as the LC. We'll continue to monitor those. Is Pakistan going to live up to its end? It knows that India is self-sufficient, even if it does not get help from its long-standing partners. We can sustain war. We can continue with our efforts to demoralize them and make sure that no terrorist activities, which is now state policy, comes out of the patronage that Pakistan has provided them for decades now. We take a short break. We'll be right back.